Dead on Dave's Week in Review for Wrestling. Wrestling Week in Review. That's the name of the show. What's going on? Thank you for joining me. Thanks for checking out my channel, coming back. I did a video earlier this week with the in conjunction with the Joe Cronin Show, where The Rock did a little shoot on Bret Hart. And if you're a longtime viewer of the Joe Cronin Show, which you should be, by the way, you know exactly what all that stuff is about, and it's hilarious, and it's a good time. So thank you for checking it out. Make sure the first thing, let's get this out of the way. Go ahead and hit the like here, subscribe. You know, let's get that out of the way real quick. So let's kick this show off properly, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, the Joe Cronin Show proudly brings to you its podcasting champion of the world, Dead on Dave. That's right, me. That was a little fun. I wanted to have a little fun with that. So, yes, this is not on the Joe Cronin Show channel, network, whatever, but we are in strong conjunction with the Joe Cronin Show, so I just wanted to give a little shout out to all my boys over there, Joe, Jesse, Tommy C, all you crazy dudes. What's up? And of course, you can check me out on, I'm also on Shot from the Point with Tommy C every now and then. I'm the Blackhawks correspondent there. I'm on the Joe Cronin Show on the review shows for Monday Night Raw and pay-per-views, wherever else he needs me. And right here on this channel, Dead on Dave Productions, you can see me do shows like this, where I'll be posting weekly reviews every Saturday, sometime throughout the day. I'll get a solid time. It'll be about, probably 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the morning, I would have to say. Probably when this will be out every week on Saturday. I'll try to make that a hard time. So basically what I want to do is every week just come on and wrap up everything that's gone on in the week of wrestling, because a lot goes on and it's easy to get confused and not catch up on stuff. So that's what I'm here for. So let's jump right into it, because I rambled enough. So let's start with what I think is one of the biggest stories of the week and one of the biggest rumors of the week. So that's the first segment. It's rumors of the week, and this is the biggest one that I want to talk about. All week, I've had people tweeting, I've had people texting, I've had people commenting on Facebook, conversations about how Brock Lesnar is sick. Brock Lesnar's sick, and he's going to miss Hell in a Cell. Now, half of this is true. Brock Lesnar is not booked for Hell in a Cell currently. It doesn't look like he's going to be. Now, the rumor about him being sick started because he sweats a lot during matches, and his discoloration, because he turns red and sometimes purple almost during matches, so everyone's saying that there are heart problems with Brock Lesnar. Now, let me first state this. Everything that is said about Brock Lesnar and his heart is 100% pure rumor. It started with a few people, not wrestling insiders, nothing like that. Wrestling insiders, what's the big deal about that anyway? But I'm saying it was nobody in the know. It was viewers who started saying things about Brock Lesnar because of the way he looked. Brock Lesnar always looks like this, okay? There's nothing wrong with Brock Lesnar. Something else you have to understand about the guy, he is missing like, 2/3 of his intestinal tract. So yeah, he might sweat and look a little bit different. He's a physical freak of nature. I don't think anything is wrong with Brock Lesnar. Of course, I don't know either. But they've come out and denied it. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think it's kind of ridiculous. People just looking at things on the internet and taking it and running with it and turning it into a story. Now, that being said, he's not going to be at Hell in a Cell. And a logical question would be to ask, why is that? Why would he not be there? Well, I just think it has to do with his part-time status and him really, I guess in a way, not needing to be there. Everyone was complaining about the idea of having, Lesnar, Cena 3 in Hell in a Cell. And nobody wanted to see the Big Show and Lesnar. Thankfully, it doesn't look like that's going to happen in any capacity, because now Big Show has moved on to Rusev. So that should be, we'll get into that in a little bit later on. So that could be an interesting thing. But with Lesnar missing Hell in the Cell, it opens up some strange possibilities for the show of what they're going to do. They have a few guys in the main event pictured, not being title related. And I think they teased what's going to happen at Hell in a Cell on SmackDown. There was a segment in which Dean Ambrose stole the Money in the Bank contract, or the briefcase. And I think that is the spark that they're going to run with into Hell in a Cell. And I think that's going to be the main event: Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the Money in the Bank briefcase in Hell in a Cell. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it could even go to a point where maybe they'll hang the friggin' briefcase from the cell and let it dangle down. You got to retrieve it with a ladder. That's an interesting thing that they could do to make this match really, really awesome. I think it could work. A lot of people, Joe Cronin in particular, is not excited about this line of thinking, with the briefcase being more than likely pivoted to Dean Ambrose. I don't have a problem with it because Dean Ambrose is the hot guy. He's the one who should have the briefcase. Rollins has kind of proven with the briefcase that he's a legitimate star. This guy's going to be something. So he really does not need to have the briefcase. He's not ready for a title reign yet. That's for damn sure. But in the future, they can revisit him and Ambrose later on, but this being a jumping off point from that. This could be The Rock and Stone Cold when they battled over the Intercontinental title, a year or two before they started battling over the WWE Championship. That could be the same type of thing, but instead of a title, it could be the Money in the Bank briefcase. And we'll remember this is where it all started. So when these two guys are feuding in the future over the WWE Championship, we'll remember this is where it started. It's kind of a cool thought. I think that could work. I've read this stupid thing about how Cena and Ambrose might wrestle first, and the winner of that faces Seth Rollins, and the loser takes on Randy Orton. I don't understand that. I hope that's just pure speculation, and there's nothing to that. So, with any luck, that'll be the case. So, the biggest rumor I wanted to get to was the Brock Lesnar thing. I think I covered that well. So, let's go ahead and jump in to the news this week that is making the rounds. Let's start with a little bit of TNA news. Yes, I do watch TNA pretty regularly. I might as well enjoy it while it's still here because, boys and girls, I don't think it's going to be around much longer. Signs are not looking good. Now, that being said, it does look like Josh Matthews is about to join TNA. Why? I have no friggin' idea. You would think if Josh Matthews wants to, go back into wrestling commentating, it would be at the WWE. Maybe they don't want him back. I have no idea. I don't understand the logic of going to TNA, especially with all their problems. They're not offering significant contracts to their top guys. I think they are seeing the writing on the wall, and it's a shame too. Not that I ever think that TNA could be a viable competition to WWE, but at least it's there. TNA at least is going to be changing over the next couple of years. I think they're going to be more of like a Ring of Honor type promotion, almost an independent. The days of having two well-known mainstream brands, I think, are dead. If you ever wanted to call TNA a mainstream brand to begin with, I mean, that's all up to opinion. But the reality is the ratings are dropping. It's not really showing any sign of improvement. The move to a new night didn't help. So, I don't know. Maybe Josh Matthews getting on the announce team will do something. I don't know if that's even going to actually happen. But it's getting a lot of traction, and that could be going on that way. Sticking with some TNA news, TNA started to announce matches for its WrestleMania, Bound for Glory, which is taking place in Tokyo, Japan this year on October 12th. And they finally started announcing some matchups, some interesting ones, starting with the X Division. The X Division champion Samoa Joe will defend against former WCW star Kaz Hayashi and Low-Ki in a triple threat match. So that's an interesting possibly a very interesting triple threat for the X Division title. And the other announced match is Tajiri and the Great Muta versus James Storms and the Great Sanada. The Great Muta really still around? Isn't that kind of crazy? Muta has been around forever, it seems, doesn't it? I never got it. Look, people are gonna kill me for this, but I've just never been a big Muta guy. I don't know. I get it, the green mist, great gimmick and stuff. And he was good in the ring when he was younger, but I don't know. He's gotten up there in age. But hey, the guy continues to go, right? So, screw it. Another big story this week is soon to be returning Darren Young posted his own comeback hype video. I mean, just no WWE acknowledgments in there. It's just him going out and publicizing himself, a la Zack Ryder, talking about who he wants to face when he gets back and everything. Talk about his experiences in NXT and all of that, which is great. He wants to mix it up with Rusev and Orton and Cena, but he has to first fix this whole situation with Titus O'Neil. And I think it's becoming well accepted that he will be revealed as the Bunny, even though the Bunny is not him right now. And I want to talk about that real quick. The Bunny, one of the most intriguing things going on in all of wrestling. Who is the Bunny? Who is actually portraying him on television? Well, interesting. Some video evidence has shown that the Bunny is more than likely Justin Gabriel. Now, it's known that he's also been played by Sami Zayn at times, but definitely the guy hitting those moves on Raw was Justin Gabriel. Some people did some really cool side-by-side video pictures, still photos of Gabriel on the top rope and his little kick. The exact same things the Bunny did, and you know what? They're identical. I'm convinced it's Justin Gabriel. Now, it's not going to be Gabriel moving forward. More than likely, it will be Darren Young. That's been the plan, and so they can further the feud with Titus O'Neil and hopefully bring some life to both of these guys. I think that needs to happen. So what else is going on in the news? Oh, that's right. Prince Devitt, his ring name has been revealed. Finn Balor. Finn Balor. That's interesting. To go along with Hideo Itami, who everybody knows was Kenta. So those are the two new stars coming into NXT with a lot of hype, a lot of independent experience, a lot of international success. Both of these guys can go. They're both studs. Real excited about seeing that. And at a NXT taping coming up for the future, the NXT taping is going to be aired in the future. They team up and they beat up the Ascension. So that's kind of cool because the Ascension has been attacking Itami lately. So that should be a cool little angle. Spoiler alert, sorry. So that could be interesting. Prince Devitt, who looks like he could be a big, big star in this industry. So he is known as Finn Balor. What do we think about that? Leave the comments in the below. Tell me what you guys think. Here's an interesting story. Sting's new DVD. His first DVD with the WWE. Not really getting off on the best of foot. If you look on the back, the Sting DVD actually features a picture of Jeff Farmer. Now, who is Jeff Farmer? Jeff Farmer was the NWO Sting. So, in response to that, the DVD distributor for the WWE video library or whatever released this. The first batch of the best of Sting DVDs on Blu-ray and DVDs will have a picture of the fake Sting on it. Hashtag oops. This mistake will become a collector's dream. Out October 1st. Pre-order now. No shame. No shame. That's the world we live in, folks. Nowadays, no shame. No shame in anything. Let's just make it a collector's item. Everything is okay. It's funny, so it's all right. Okay, so let's get to the meat of the show. We got through all of the good stories of the week, so let's go ahead and get to the meat of what I want to talk about on the show. First up, show of the week. Every week I'll be talking about what was the best show of the week, and this week it was SmackDown, without question. This was a good show, man. This was a really, really good show. Kicked off with Ambrose and The Miz. They had a really nice matchup. People don't give enough credit to The Miz sometimes, and I'm one of those people, by the way. But lately he's been impressing me. He worked a good matchup with Ambrose, and during the matchup they went and after the match, I should say, they teased the Money in the Bank briefcase being the stipulation that will be defended at Hell in the Cell when Dean Ambrose stole the briefcase. He stole it, and Rollins is all fired up about it. And I think what's going to end up happening is obviously Rollins isn't just going to put his briefcase up and say, "Here, take my briefcase, Dean." No, I think there'll have to be something put on the line, such as Ambrose leaving the WWE, something like that. But the problem with that is it'll be tipping the hand and showing that there's no way Ambrose is going to lose the match, which we kind of know anyway. Ambrose is the hottest thing going right now, I think, and he's only been back a week, and he's just the hottest thing going. This guy is it. He's going to be huge. I really believe that. I might be wrong, but who knows? But getting back to SmackDown, Dolph Ziggler defended the Intercontinental title against a winner of a really surprisingly good Battle Royal, Cesaro. Battle Royal, Cesaro's winning right now. It's just any Battle Royal, Cesaro is going to win. And he did. He won this one. And impressive. He gorilla press slammed Big E Langston. Really not once, but twice. He got him up once, and then he got him up again later in the match. He was impressive, man. Cesaro is so good. This guy really can work. He can go. He has got a good look. I really hope that sooner or later they actually let him achieve something. I knew it wasn't going to be the Intercontinental title, but here's what I liked. They had him face Ziggler in a really good match, and they had an ending where Cesaro had his hand on the rope, yet the ref didn't see it and counted his shoulders anyway, giving Ziggler the victory and retaining his title. What was interesting about that is it really sets up some stuff for the future and allows some really good action to take place. Because Miz is not going to go anywhere, I don't think. We'll still see, or maybe they're pivoting him completely. That's possible too. But if not, they have three guys, four if you want to count Sandow and all of his jackassery into that kind of make the mid-card a growing thing that matters. And who knows what they're going to be doing with Sheamus as well. So, I mean, the mid-card is looking better, and that's a really good thing. SmackDown was just loaded this week, it seemed like, from top to bottom. And I want to tie this in a little bit to the next talking point I wanted to get to, the match of the week. Now, I haven't brought up the main event on SmackDown yet, which was, as we know, my show of the week. The reason is because the main event, I'm going to get killed for this. The main event was my match of the week. And the reason why I'm going to get killed is because it was the Big Show versus Rusev. Now, how could I possibly pick this match as match of the week? Well, I'll tell you why. It's real simple. This was the first time I could give a shit about Rusev. And it's the first time in a long time I've given a crap about the Big Show. Rusev looked vulnerable. I like that. We haven't seen that out of him. He's overcome just about everything. He hasn't really been pushed. They worked a decent match. I mean, geez, the Big Show actually worked a pretty decent match with him. He was plotting. He was doing his whole damn thing, and he knocked him out at the end of the match after being attacked with the flag. Eventually, like always, Rusev is going to come out on top. But it's nice that the Big Show had a good showing for a change. I thought it was a really good match. It made me give a crap about two guys that I just normally didn't. And it's the first time that I really took notice of Rusev and said, whoa. When he kicked Big Show, and knocked him straight down. That made me stop for a second and go, Rusev might be something serious in the future. And I think that might be the case. So that's my match of the week, Big Show and Rusev. Check it out on SmackDown. It was really good. Surprisingly, Lana got involved at the end. It was just a good match, top to bottom, I thought. I felt it was really good. And coming off a week where we had another Raw that just felt so disjointed and blah, SmackDown was really, really solid. Which, I guess in the past year or two, it's not uncommon for SmackDown to be better than Raw. But lately, and it just seemed when it was revolving around Roman Reigns, and I hate to beat up on the guy because, he's hurt. But when it was revolving around him, SmackDown got real stale. There was a lot of wrestling on SmackDown. There was a lot of wrestling on Raw. They're going to more wrestling, which I think is a good thing. They're cutting down on a lot of the stupidity, and we're getting some good matches. I didn't even bring up the Dust Brothers versus the Usos. That was a good matchup too, with the Usos getting the win by disqualification or count out or something like that, furthering their feud. I want to see more of these guys. I don't have a problem with seeing more of the Dust Brothers and the Usos. So seeing the Usos chase for a little while, that should be interesting. So we'll see what's going to happen there. I think it was a really solid week overall. TNA, the show was it was okay. It was okay. It didn't. I don't want to bury him too much. I don't even really want to talk about TNA. That's kind of where I am with it. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. I don't really want to think about TNA. It's not. People who defend TNA are such staunch supporters. They're like hipsters. They're like, oh, it's great. It's where real wrestling fans are. No, man, it's just the product is not that good. It really is WWE light. They've tried to copy everything about them, production value, everything. Yeah, the 6 sides of the ring is back. Whatever, who gives a shit? TNA has just done nothing to grab my attention and pull me away from the WWE, which is unfortunate because WWE has been vulnerable because they don't give a shit because they have no competition. But so yeah, a solid week all in all. Wrestler of the week, the coveted Wrestler of the Week trophy goes to Dean Ambrose this week. He wrestled a couple of good matches on both Raw and SmackDown. Had a nice little segment on Main Event. Returned at Night of Champions. He's the hottest thing in the company. WWE has to take notice of this. They have to utilize him properly. They cannot water him down and make him Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, here's the problem. One of the biggest reasons why Roman Reigns wasn't working. Because they were making him into Cena 2.0. The way he was handling himself, his moves, everything. He was just becoming another version of Cena, which is what we don't want. Nobody wants another Cena. We don't want to go through another 10 years of dominance where it's just the same fucking thing every single night. We want somebody who's going to entertain us. We want somebody who's going to surprise us. We want somebody who might actually be able to move between heel and face every now and then. That is Dean Ambrose. That is Seth Rollins. Both of these guys could both be heel or face and excel in those roles. But Dean Ambrose, I think, is the guy who's going to come out of this feud with Rollins as the guy. And hopefully they can build something with Ambrose and Lesnar into WrestleMania with any luck. When's Lesnar going to come back? Who knows? Is Ambrose going to take the briefcase out of Seth Rollins' grubby little paws? I think so. What are they going to do with Randy Orton? What are they going to do with John Cena? Is Rollins going to go into a feud with Cena after this feud with Ambrose? There's all of these things that are floating around, all of these rumors, all of this conjecture. It's going to be interesting. And you know what? That's the most important thing to come out of this week. That's the most important thing to come out of this week is we're talking about possibilities. There is no set in stone thing anymore. There is no definitive plan. It's getting blown apart, whether it be by injuries or just lack of direction or part-timers being champion. Call it what you will. but there's intrigue within the WWE, which is good for all of us. So that's it. That's all I got. That's my first episode. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for sticking around. Click the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at DeadOnDave. If you're watching this on Facebook, don't be a lazy ass. Go to Facebook, www.facebook.com/user/the-DeadOnDave. I have a good URL now. Easy. The DeadOnDave. Twitter at DeadOnDaveV. Check me out on Shot from the Point. Check out Shot from the Point. Everything they got. Tommy's coming back tomorrow. Check out the Joe Cronin Show. Look at everything he's got going on over there. YuckyGamer.com. All the things that he does. Great stuff. JD from New York. Shout out to you, my friend. Check out that. So JD joined us on Raw last week. It was fantastic. Hopefully he'll be doing that more often. That's all I got. So thanks, bitches. Thanks for joining me on the first show. Check out more. Come back. Let's do something here, baby. Woo! Yeah. Liking my new theme music. Royalty free. It's called Broken Reality. One of those royalty free sites. Good tune. Bret Hart, they talk trash. They talk trash about The Rock, Bret. They talk trash about the United States. You're gonna lay the smack down on your candy ass, Bret.